funky one-arm pull-up training tools. Now, having trained for the one-arm pull-up for quite some time, I've started to look into and experiment with a few unconventional tools that I think could be quite useful if you really want to lock in your one-arm pull-up and to give your body a bit of, I suppose, different stimulus.
You got to shock the muscle
in terms of one-arm pull-up training than what it usually gets. Starting off, an interesting way to add in variety to your one-arm pull-up training is to switch between the different thicknesses of bar. If you're using just a regular bar for pull-ups, it'd be nice to switch out what type of bar you're using. Maybe you want to have one that's rugged, maybe you want to have one that's more slippery, maybe you want to use every now and then one that's thin, one that's thick, or to adjust the grip so that it's thicker. Maybe you want to put a towel or something over so that it's somewhat more grippy, but also a bit more of a bulky grip that might be more difficult to exert force on. All of these variations are quite darn good. And also something that I came across when I came to the climbing gym I've been using now for almost a year is a steel bar. This is actually a bit thinner as well, so it sort of crosses out a few of these boxes, but not only is it thinner than a regular bar, but it's also made out of steel, so it's quite darn slippery. And so whenever I do training on this and go over to a regular bar, I feel that I'm quite a bit, not necessarily stronger, although maybe a little bit, but it's an aspect of you have more strength then on a more regular, more conventional bar, as well as more control. It's not usually something that people talk about, but that's also quite an interesting aspect. Other things you can do is, if you mainly train on a pull-up bar, you can go over to rings every now and then, and vice versa. If you mostly train on rings, you can go over to the bar, so you get variety with that as well. And then a few other things that relate perhaps a bit more to the climbing world, if you are engaged with that, is that you can do training on different types of climbing holds. This is actually quite dope, and in the climbing world it's something that's, I guess, highlighted through different videos and different people at the top of the game. For example, Emil Abrahamsson, Ryan Magnus Mittbönsa. So being able to do a one-arm pull-up off of a sloper, or being able to do a one-arm pull-up off of a crimp, or from just an open hand, or even from a pinch grip. Like, all of these are different variations which stress your muscles and your tendons in different ways that overall make you a better one-arm pull-up athlete. And then last tool I've looked a bit into is that you can do one-arm pull-up training on a hangboard. And for all of these training tools, even if you're not able to do a full one-arm pull-up yet, it can be quite good to throw them into your training to just stress your body in a just different way, to give your body a different type of one-arm pull-up training stimulation. And so even if you're not able to fully perform the move, I'd recommend just doing certain exercises and building up to certain exercises, for example the hangboard. If you have stronger fingers, it will help you overall with the grip and overall to engage the movement. So for example, an exercise such as just dead hangs on a hangboard, let's say I hold a half crimp grip on a hangboard with a single arm and train that for time to slowly be able to do on the jugs a few parts of the movement. So for example, from 0 to 90 degrees or from 90 degrees to lockout, and then slowly to incorporate the different type of holds. This might be a bit more tedious, and depending on what type of one-arm pull-up you want to get, might take quite a bit more time, but it can be a good way to sort of strengthen one-arm pull-up efficiencies, or to strengthen different parts of your one-arm pull-up game. For example, a more slippery, less grippy, extra thin or extra thick bar for that control when you're just using one arm on the bar, or whether it comes to strengthening your fingers and grip, specifically using a hangboard in the training, or whether it's just getting variety through training on climbing holds, or through just getting different one-arm pull-up environments, generally speaking. If you want to do the one-arm pull-up, you don't just want to be able to do the one-arm pull-up in perfect conditions, in your best shape, on your best day. You want to be able to, at least I want to be able to do it at any time, on any bar, really on any type of surface or object I can hold on to and hang from. So yeah, if you're training for the one-arm pull-up, consider watching this video right here about sort of the mindset you might want to adopt when you go for calisthenic skills, just generally speaking, but specifically also for the one-arm pull-up. And well, if you're new to one-arm pull-up training, consider watching this video right here about isometric hold, which is one of the best exercises I've come across for building one-arm pull-up strength. Without further ado, thanks for watching, and as always, remember to keep on training, train what you love, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya, guys.